Hello everybody, this is EveryQuest here, and this is a new channel dedicated to looking at, understanding, and trying to figure out every single quest in World of Warcraft. I know it's a huge challenge and it's a huge undertaking, but the lore of World of Warcraft is one of my favorite things about it, and so we're just gonna take a dive into our first adventure. We'll be going through all of the Night Elf areas and all of the Night Elf quests, and eventually we'll move on from there. So, if you like this series, if you like these videos, if you like learning more, if you want to see a different type of format, or if you want more in-depth on the history of World of Warcraft, please let me know and like, comment, and subscribe on this video, and stay tuned for future episodes. And with that, we're going to dive right in. In today's video, we'll be going through the Night Elf starting zone, which starts in Shadowglen, and it starts us off with this pretty neat cutscene, and I won't be talking through it.
After years of imprisonment within the Emerald Nightmare, Archdruid Malfurion Stormrage has finally returned to the mortal world. Reunited with his love, Tyrande Whisperwind, Malfurion endeavors now to heal the corrupted world tree Teldrassil and rejuvenate the spirit of the Night Elf people. Yet as the great cataclysm shakes the boughs of their colossal tree, the Night Elves brace themselves against the coming storm. As war and destruction close in from all sides, it falls to Night Elves like you to stand strong and protect the enduring legacy of your people.
Alright, so we are in the World of Warcraft, and we are in the Night Elf starting zone, and we are here because it is in honor of my first character ever created, which was a Night Elf. And also, if you haven't played Battle for Azeroth, things are bad for Teldrassil. Funnily enough, my character's name is Questgiver, so you can kind of tell a little bit of the lore of this character. I always like to give my characters a little bit of lore, and this guy used to give quests to new players, and even sometimes he would be in other cities, or he'd be traveling along with the players, whatever. Now he is going on an adventure himself, and I recommend looking through your settings real quick. As a new character, they're not going to be what you want probably, and I would also recommend turning on auto loot, which I don't do at the beginning here, and you'll see me turn it on later in the video. So with your first quest, you're going to talk to this guy named Ilfilane, and he gives you your first quest, the Balance of Nature. Greetings, quest guide. I am Ilfilane. My purpose in Shadowglen is to train young druids like you to ensure that the balance of nature is maintained. The spring rains were particularly heavy this year, causing some of the forest beasts to flourish while others suffered. Unfortunately, the Night Saber numbers grew too large, and they will devastate the other populations if they are not culled. Journey forth, young druid, and thin saber populations so the nature's harmony will be preserved. Alright, so we'll go ahead and accept that quest. Yes, our first quest will be murdering Night Sabers. What great druids we are. But no, the balance of nature must be preserved. As a new druid, well, as a newly fighting druid, we only have one spell called Solar Wrath. This used to just be called Wrath in previous versions, but I think in BFA they changed it. Maybe it was before BFA, I'm not sure. And as you can see, my character is now, I'm now turning on auto loot. So if you look at the blue circle on the minimap, you can easily tell that that's where the Night Sabers are. And they're not completely confined to this area, as you can find them outside of that area, and maybe even farther in Shadowglen, though I don't remember. However, those blue circles can really help new players find out where they need to go for quests. For me personally, I didn't even look at the map, I just kind of knew exactly where the Night Sabers were. But again, new players may not, and this will help them. We only have 2 more Night Sabers that we have to kill. One Night Saber remains. I also recommend looting everything, especially since I actually paid for a new account for this particular channel on YouTube, so I do recommend picking up everything, especially if you're a new player, and that way you can sell all your crap and give it to vendors who will for some reason buy cat hair. Whatever. You must return to Elfilane. And so you'll just travel back to where you began your adventure, and you'll right click him, and he says, "You performed your duties well, quest guide," and then we get some archery training gloves for that, and 35 copper. Alright, we hit level 2, which doesn't really do much at all, but level 2 is, you have to be at level 2 to get to level 3, so it's a step in the right direction. He also now gives us a new quest named the Fel Moss, well, it's not named the Fel Moss, it's named Fel Moss Corruption. And he says, "You seem to know what you're doing. Perhaps I can task you with something a little more important. As you may well know, the corruption in Teldrassil was supposedly wiped away, yet something lingers. The creatures have not calmed, and all manner of problems still plague us. I need you to deal with the Grelkin that have gathered to the west, and while you're there, I want you to search them for Fel Moss. This will help me determine from where this corruption stems." And of course we will accept that quest, because we don't really have a choice. Alright, we also have a quest from Melithor Staghelm, who gives us demonic thieves. "Vicious little Grell, they've been stealing from our food stores again. If you wouldn't mind lending a hand, they are sure to have stolen bags within their camps to the west. I would be glad to reward you if you can bring them back to me." He's a little upset at these Grelkin. Even though they call them demonic thieves, funnily enough, I read this on the WoWWiki site, which I will have a link for in the description, and according to that website, they are technically not demons, but they are, in fact, nature, beasts of nature. And so if you just go to the southwest over here, you'll find a bunch of them, and they're pretty easy to kill. You're not going to have much of an issue defeating them. When you kill them, in this case, you will actually have to loot them, or else you will not get the items that you need to complete the quest. So you may have to kill more than 6 of them. However, with all the updates they've added to World of Warcraft, it could take more than 10 minutes to get all 6 of them. And now that they've increased the drop rates on almost all quest items, they don't really take that long. So I did notice that whenever you click on them, they do say demon, but it's still strange because even though they look like imps, they are not considered imps. Imps are from the Burning Legion, and they are definitely demonic. These ones, I guess because they're being corrupted, are considered demons. I'm not entirely sure. Or they're just demons from Azeroth. I'm not entirely sure how that works. Or if WoWWiki is just completely wrong. Who knows? I don't know. While you are killing the Grelkin, you can also retrieve the stolen bags from the Grelkin camps. They're scattered throughout the area, and they are not hard to find. You can easily tell where they are because of the glowing yellow aura around them. So all you need to do is get 6 of these, and you'll return to the camp. When you turn in the quest, the Fel Moss Corruption, to Elfilane, when you first talk to him, he says, "Satisfy my suspicions, quest guide. Bring the Fel Moss to me from the Grelkin." And then he then says, "Your service to the creatures of Shadowglen is worthy of reward, quest guide. You confirm my fears. However, the Grelkin are still tainted by Fel Moss. Despite Teldrassil's blessing, something sinister remains within the tree. I can only hope that the Gnarlpine tribe of Furbolgs are free of corruption, or we are still in grave danger. I will look into this further and contact those who might be of aid. Thank you, Druid." He gives you some canopy leggings and some healing herbs. Talks to Melithar Staghelm, and when you first talk to him, he says, "I don't have any supplies for my customers until the stolen goods are recovered. Have you had any luck?" "Elune be praised! And you as well, young Druid. There are many young night elves in need of these, but I'd be more than happy to give you one of the bags as a reward. I'm sure it will come in handy." And he gives you your first bag of the adventure. Unless something dropped a bag previously. And now we get our second spell, Moonfire. which is a pretty awesome spell, as it's an instant cast and does a little bit of damage. So as we learn more from other druids while we are questing, we know how to do some of the spells that they know how to do. Now that you've turned both those quests in, you'll talk to Ilthalain, and he gives the quest Priestess of the Moon. Perhaps you'd be willing to aid us in further pursuing the corruption haunting Shadowglen. Dinitaria Silverglade, Priestess of the Moon, has offered to aid us. You should find her between the 2 pools north of our great tree. Circle around the tree to reach her and offer her any help that you can, young druid. And of course, we're gonna do that because we are just the newest night elf on the block that's questing. Anyway, whenever you are done talking to him, you'll follow this pathway from their camp and you'll walk towards the big tree, or the path that goes up the big tree. You'll pass a ton of deer, and if you want to go for the achievement, to all the scrolls of love before, you can love one of the deers. You just click on one and do /love. But that's for a different video, as achievements will be a big part of this channel as well. There's also, around the lake, there's also a bunch of toads. Whenever you see her, she will be in between 2 ponds and next to her tiger Iverron, and a night elf who is hurt on the ground. When you talk to her, you cannot do a woman's voice, so I don't know what I'm going to do for it, but here goes nothing. I'll just probably do it in a nicer tone, I guess. I don't know. It is good that you've come. It seems your training progresses quickly. You better believe it is, because I am such a great druid. Alright, then she gives you the quests. Iverron's Antidote. Our friend Iverron has fallen to poison from the nearby webwood spiders. I can tend to him to keep his state from deteriorating, but I need someone to gather an ingredient to prepare him an antidote. All around the ponds you should find moon petal lilies. These flowers have great healing properties, and I can use them with the ingredients I already have to restore Iverron to better health. Would you gather them for me? There should be many of them just inside of here, near the water's edge. So she needs you to collect 7 moon petal lilies, and they're just scattered all around these lakes. They're not very hard to find, and you could easily just walk around and look for the glowy yellow things, and that's really all you're doing. And all you got to do is collect 7 of these. In editing here, I'm actually noticing that there's actually a graphical glitch there on the right side of the screen. Didn't notice that while I was playing. I guess I just wasn't really focused on that. But it is very noticeable in editing. I thought that was kind of interesting. I like pointing out little glitches. World of Warcraft is filled with glitches, so they're quite fun to try to discover and try to figure out how to make them even worse. Back in the day, that was what I did with this game before achievements. When you return to Dinitaria Silverglade, she will say, "Our dear friend is not doing so well, even with my mending. Have you brought the supplies I need?" And so you'll show her the moon petal lilies. "Thank you, quest guide. Your swiftness is appreciated." Oh, thank you. Then she has another quest for you, the Woodland Protector. "I must ask something more dangerous of you. Strange news has traveled to me through the whisperings of the forest spirits. The mysterious Woodland Protector, Tyrandrella, has returned to Shadowglen again. The Dryad's presence has not been felt in the forest since before the blessing of Teldrassil. Something is surely amiss if she has journeyed back to this land. Seek out Tyrandrella and the Shadow Thread cave to the north. It is dangerous, but we will be prepared with this antidote just in case." Then if you stay here for a second, she'll actually cast a spell, which is really the herbs, on Iverron, and she says that his poison is cured, but it will take some time for him to recover. So we did a good job, and we saved Iverron from certain death. Stupid spiders. Spiders are bad. Alright, so after you complete that, you'll head straight due north and just keep walking until you see the cave, and we will end our first video here. I hope you guys enjoyed my new channel, and I hope that you'll like, comment, and subscribe just to help the new channel out. Or if not, if you didn't like it, let me know. And just comment any questions, concerns, or edits, or anything you would do differently in this video. Thank you guys for watching again. I will see you in the next adventure.